I am going to inform you or sort of do a small halfway through book review. It's going to be slightly different from the manga videos that I normally do, but trust me, this book is going to be probably well worth the read if you decide to read the book. And that book is The Alchemist. Probably could have picked that out already by the title and possibly even the thumbnail. It's by Paulo Coelho, Coelho. I think he's Brazilian, so I apologize if I have mispronounced his last name. But there it is. Again, it is The Alchemist, and this one is the 25th anniversary edition. So this is the one that has 208 pages in it. So I don't know if that's just because of the extra about the author section in the back, or if it's just there's been a little bit added to the story. I haven't read the original. So I'm about halfway through this book right now, and I absolutely love it. It's if you've never read it before, basically it is about a young boy who he's like a shepherd in I think some small town in Spain. It is a fictional story, but I think all the places are real. It's just the story and the people that the boy interacts with is all fictional, but the places he goes, I believe, are all real. And I'm not exactly to 100% sure, but I think the story is fictional. But the message behind the story is one that I think everyone could take to heart and sort of learn something from. Now, on the back of the book, what really sold me on this book was the quote on the back from this book. It said, "To realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation." Now, if that doesn't really kind of tell you where this book is going, then I don't know what will. But that's really what sold me on the book, and it's really great. It's about it's about a young boy who he's like a shepherd, or he has sheep. He's a sheep farmer. I don't know if that's the right term, but he really doesn't want to be a shepherd, but he's really good at it, and he's done it for a while. So he's kind of gotten good at being a shepherd. But he one day when he's bringing his sheep into the city that he lives in, because I think he lives on the outskirts of whatever city he lives around, he runs into a merchant's daughter who he finds is absolutely beautiful, and he wants to find her again. So he realizes that they're traveling merchants, and this merchant's daughter and her father are traveling to Egypt, specifically the pyramids. So this boy wants to go to Egypt. He wants to travel to Egypt. Now, knowing the geography of Spain, Africa is right across the Mediterranean Sea, and more specifically in Spain, Africa is right across the peninsula there. I forget. I remembered it. I knew it. The Strait of Gibraltar. That's what it is. So there's really not a whole lot of distance between where this boy is living and Africa. It's just getting to Africa and then traveling to Egypt that is going to take the long part of the journey. But the story centers around this boy runs into this king, but he doesn't know the king is a king, because the king has disguised himself as sort of a peasant, or somewhat of a lower lower class than a king. So the king kind of tells him, you really need to just follow your destiny. You need to follow, if you have this something in mind that you really want to do, just do it. Just kind of go forward and just whatever it takes, just work toward that one goal in your life. And if you really want to do it, go ahead and do it. So it's sort of about manifesting destiny, where if you really want to do something, you can just ask the universe, and the universe will sort of just kind of give it to you. And it sort of just follows. It's kind of, um, following what your passion is in life. And then in one part of the book, the young boy, uh, he meets a crystal salesman. This guy sells like crystal glasses and all that kind of stuff. And this gentleman really wants to go visit Mecca because he's a Muslim. And if you're not familiar with Muslim culture, um, they believe that at least once in the life of a Muslim, they are entitled to go visit Mecca at least once in their life, right? So this gentleman, he has this dream of visiting Mecca, but he doesn't want to go because he's afraid that if he goes, he'll have nothing left to live for. So he kind of just, the boy works with this crystal merchant for about a year when he gets to Africa eventually, and he eventually decides to pack up his things and just go back to his home in Spain and go back to tending his sheep. But he realized, like, does he really want to be like the crystal merchant, of only having this dream of achieving your dreams, his dreams of specifically this young boy's dreams of going to Africa, or Egypt rather. And he thinks about it. He has these two stones that sort of help him decide things. I think Urim and Thummim, I think they're called. And he sort of helps use those to kind of guide himself and kind of recognize omens and how to kind of say yes or no to those certain omens. And there's certain things that happen to him along his journey from Spain to Africa that kind of sort of dictate his journey. And it's sort of about, things might not really go your way in your life, but that shouldn't stop you from continuing on and trying your hardest to achieve what you have or what you want to achieve in your life. So with that kind of being said, and that sort of little summary, I haven't really, again, I'm only about halfway through the book. He's sort of on his way to Egypt right now, where I've left off, with somebody who wants to be an alchemist, probably the alchemist, if I can kind of kind of tell where the story is going to be weaving. And this alchemist, or this wannabe alchemist, also has a couple of the stones, the Urim and Thummim stones that the boy has. So they're kind of traveling together, but kind of just, there. They're not really interacting with each other. They just so happen to be traveling to Egypt at the same time, or this one specific city in Egypt. If you want a good story, I would highly recommend picking up The Alchemist. It's a small book. You can probably, I don't know, you can probably knock it out in a couple days, maybe a day or two, if depending on how fast you read. So it's a good book. I recommend it to anyone. And on that note, I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, keep chasing your dreams.